Good morning. We're in Princeton, Florida. 66 degrees on a interesting morning. We had a very windy morning with winds out of the west at up to 21 miles an hour with higher gusts. Gusts up to about 35, some reported almost 40 miles an hour in North Miami. That's almost tropical storm force. And our rant today is going to be about football. But first, a little bit on the weather. Lower the volume here a little bit. We were supposed to get these fast-moving storms on Saturday. I guess we got them today. It's supposed to be a reinforcement of cool air. It's keeping our temperatures down to about 50 degrees at night. And barely 70 degrees in the daytime, which is great. Typical Miami fashion, you see as people are dressed up with scarves and all kind of heavy coats. I love this so much, I haven't worn my jacket yet. I'm still in short sleeves. But it got kind of wild this morning when it got windy. It was a little grass fire near here. But Miami-Dade Fire Station 5 put it under control really quick. A lot of smoke though. Now it seems like the wind has settled a little bit. It's not nearly as windy. Maybe slightly breezy. Getting some blue skies, some puffy white clouds. And today we'll talk about football and whatever else comes to mind, whatever we see out here on the road. I'm a die-hard Miami Dolphins fan, aqua and orange forever. But I'm going to make a bold prediction for next year. I think next year the team to deal with in the AFC East is going to be the Buffalo Bills. They seem to be doing it right. Now they got a new defensive coordinator. They're building around the offense and defensive line. And that's how you build a football team. I've been studying football all my life. And you build a team in the trenches. The offensive, defensive line. If anybody remembers, the undefeated Dolphins won back-to-back Super Bowls. That team was built around an incredible offense and defensive line. The offensive was so good with Jim Langer and Bob Kuchenberg and Larry Little and Malty Moore and Wayne Moore, Ed Newman, Norm Miller, that even the backups could have been starters on other teams, and they rotated a fresh crew in there constantly, and they really wore their opponents down. And the defensive line was just as impressive, and with constantly attacking you, Manny Fernandez and Nick Montacani, and I see Buffalo. They're moving in the right direction, and I hate to see it because we got to play Buffalo twice next year. You have to deal with that. You have to play the Patriots twice next year, and a New York Jets team that's improving. They're a quarterback away from being a great team. And I'm sorry, Geno Smith. He's wonderful one day, and the next day he forgets how to throw a football. So Miami Dolphins got to get They got to step up to the occasion and start building this football team right. You can't pay all those millions of dollars for a superstar sprinter receiver when the quarterback doesn't have time to allow that receiver to get downfield. Okay, I'm a big Ryan Tannehill supporter. I think he's going to be, he is the quarterback of our future. He's going to be a great quarterback. But, you know, face it, he's had a crappy offensive line for a couple of years now. This year was a little better than last year, but it was still mediocre at best. And you can not only have to have the starters, you got to have good backups because, you know, the like I said before, the offensive line is in the trenches. There's going to be injuries, and there are going to be setbacks. Okay, this bus in front of us, it says Crucero, Miami. Bus number 60533. But it says, leave the driving to us. That's a Greyhound bus. You can tell by the Greyhound logo, too, in the back. Go Hound. But back to that Miami Dolphins team of the 70s. That offensive line made Bob Greasy look good. Sometimes Greasy didn't have to throw the ball 15 times in the game. It made Greasy look good. They made Mercury Morris look good. They made Larry Zonka look good. They made Jim Kick look good. They made Howard Twilley look good. Paul Warfield. Because they kept everybody at bay. The quarterback had time to figure out where he's going to throw the football to. They make Earl Morrow look good. He was the quarterback for almost the whole 72 season. Yeah, let's get around this concrete truck. So I hope that Jeff Ireland curse is over and we get real productive. We get real productive in the draft and in the off season when we go recruiting and really concentrate on the offensive line and forget about everybody else. Let's do the offensive, defensive line, and we'll control the game. You can have mediocre players at running back and receiver if you have a solid offensive line and a good quarterback. Because eventually even mediocre receivers are going to get open. And you got a quarterback that can put the ball there, you got it made. When you got a team that can run the ball, the defensive backs and the linebackers have to come up close to defend it. So the Buffalo Bills are doing it right. The Jets are doing it right. They have they hired as a coach one of the best minds in football. And the Patriots, we'll see next year. I think they may win the Super Bowl this year, but with all those cheating allegations, it's going to be a lot harder for them next year. A lot harder on them. And baseball season's around the corner, and I think the Miami Marlins have built a pretty good baseball team. I was just looking at their roster earlier today. I don't think they have any really weak spots. They have a solid bullpen, it appears like. Pretty good starters. We'll see how Jose Fernandez bounces back from that injury. And how Giancarlo Stanton bounces back from his injury. He got hit in the face very hard. A couple of question marks there, but otherwise the team looks pretty solid. I'm looking forward to baseball season. Hopefully the Dolphins will give me cause to look forward to football season too. And my other favorite sport is professional wrestling. And it's going to be future rants about wrestling. I mean, the old-time wrestling, not this crap we got now. Back when wrestling was real. Somebody wrote a book by that title, and I understand it. Back when background you hear the Bee Gees. In my opinion, the best singer, songwriting team of all time. That's just my opinion, but excellent songwriters. I didn't like that song too much. I didn't like the, some people call them the disco days, or they call it R&B. Nothing like Saturday Night Fever songs too much, but I love all their work from the 70s, 90s, the 60s, Australian sessions, the B-sides. It's one thing when you can sing a song that somebody else wrote and you're a good singer and all that, but you know what, you better keep your day job, because all you're getting paid for is to sing the song. When you write the song, when you make the song from scratch, it's yours. People want to use it, they got to pay you. That's an income for life. The brothers Gibb and the Lennon and McCartney team to me are the best of all time. We're just entering Kendall. In this area, there's 3 cell phone towers just to the west of the Don Shula Expressway, and it always interferes with radio communication, even satellite radio. That's where you heard a couple of blank spots. The house was 66 degrees, now it's up to 70. Guess it's warming up. Now we got mostly blue skies and seems like a light breeze. Amazing how the weather changes. Sunday, I already said it. Pulling for the Seahawks, but I can't root for nobody but the Dolphins. And the Pro Bowl last night was a joke. I turned it on, and I don't like the new format. I like to see NFC against the AFC. I just turned it off. That I watched last night. Last night I was watching Columbo. I watched a couple of episodes of Columbo. A show that I didn't care too much about when I was growing up, but I like it now. Love it. think we're going to cut our rant short. Pretty uneventful drive. And we'll do it again soon. Thank you for riding along with us. We're northbound on the Don Shula Expressway. The temperature has climbed all the way up to 72 degrees already. And I'm out.